So rarely do I do food videos, but this is a pineapple pancake, and they like mix it all in. I'm used to them not having maple syrup. They have honey. Gracie got the American breakfast, and she's all done. We actually shared it, but what's very common in Thailand is that they cook one thing at a time. So we're also sharing the coffee, but we got our map, we got our key to our motorbike, which is the beautiful little red one over there, for basically about 10 bucks a day. Comes with a full tank of gas, and we're off to explore after I try and complete this pancake. Okay, so we've come up to that place that I showed you before, which is this big temple, and there's a whole bunch of stairs, so we're going to count those because that's what we do. You've seen our other video when we were in Chao, we counted up to about 400 almost. But what I wanted to show you is I've seen this a couple of times, and it's the SICHANG Palace Ferry. And so as you can see, it's basically, it's got sporadic times. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So it's every 2 hours that it leaves for Sriracha. So just wanted to make that note to you. So anyway, so we've come up that little road over there. We parked the bike. And I will show you there are a couple of different ways of getting up this place. There is the stairs, of course, and then there is this little cart thingy there that's on a cable. It just goes basically up and down and up and down. We are going to go for the stairs because that's what we do. And as per usual, you're going to count them, right? So we're at 16. And again, I like to take this. So we go. Cup and back up. Three, 34, 35. Now, our record is 396 that we did in Chao, and this is going to be nowhere near 200. But this is really awesome. And but arguably right now, even though it's before 10 a.m. and certainly before the hottest part of the day, oh, that's cool. That little guy. He's sort of interesting, isn't he? Anyway, that was also a good reason to take a break. So what they've got is they have this cable car here. Literally, it goes up on a cable. I mean, it's quite steep. This is probably about a, this could be a 30% grade. What I've seen occur in there is during various holidays, they get fireworks, and they set off a bunch of them at any given time in there, so it can get quite loud because it echoes throughout sort of the chimney. This is a place of worship for sure. Very common to take incense and burn that. We'll take a look here at how this contraption works. Very good. A diesel liquid-cooled engine over there. And a very large cable here with an operator. Very conscientious. And basically it just goes up and down. And I don't know how this normally works. However, there's just the one cable. And I don't see any safety brakes. But there are 2 or 3 tires at the bottom. So, you know, that'll save you. But look at the view. This is lovely. And once you get up here, there's a couple of different opportunities. More stairs this way, so we'll check that out. More stairs this way, for sure. And then there's a restroom, should you need one. How many? 131. And then there's this area over here. Pretty cool. whole floor is vibrating from this engine. But there's the various piers. So the one we came on in is way over there. So that is the pier where we came in. To the left of it there, that's that customs pier that we tried to go out on yesterday, or we thought about going on yesterday, but didn't because it's a customs pier. And then there's the second pier there. And then there's this pier right here. This pier is apparently the one that's used when there are more waves over there, because presumably it's shielded from the significant amount of waves from that little island right there. Another little temple down there, and looks like temples and mini temples. So this looks like sort of a whole, maybe, you know, still part of the worshiping paradigm that occurs throughout many of these buildings, I'm thinking. So this is idle now while they wait for the next folks. And so this was made in 2555. So right now it is the year 2663, I believe. I can't be sure. I'll put the correct year at the bottom, which of course is 2020. But
do you remember how much they cost?
just now?
Yeah.
I think you said 135. So they fill it up, and then the guy starts the engine, and the cable starts moving. Up it goes. Very cool. Very cool indeed. You know, the nice thing, again, one of the many nice things that I think is nice about Thailand is your ability to pretty much, you know, go anywhere as long as you're not being an idiot. I mean, if you start like messing with that cable, I'm sure the guy would be like, dude, don't get out of here. No. But, you know, I can walk right past the engine. And we should be good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tackle these stairs up here. So I'm not completely sure why these ones are in arguably such sort of neglect in comparison to the other stairs. Case in point being sort of just, you know, foliage that's not really kept up, whereas other places are. They seem to keep the red and gold painting on these fairly well. But for some reason the stairs, now maybe that's because, well, right, Mike, every March they repaint them, so you're just here early. But as you can see, this is also closed. 90?
190.
Oh, and there's an additional payoff up there. Some degree of cave. Again, don't know what this says, sadly. But stairs to down there. Again, a pretty spectacular view. And as you can see down there, the tree is basically stronger than the concrete around it. And this was one of those classic trees that I don't know the name of, but was for sure just outside of the house in Coronado. So there's potentially someone who lives there, so I'm not going to pester them. Little offices over there. Not quite sure whether that's a restroom or not. But back at the temple here, and a little bit more discovery of SICHANG, which you may or may not have seen in other videos. I can tell you that, oh, that's really cool. Now, see, so this is sort of the more traditional oven slash chimney that I'm used to seeing. That one down there that I showed you earlier, that was pretty spectacular. That had a lot of decoration on it. Looks like they're probably doing some construction there, i.e. the bamboo. But as you can see, still functional. Still has the rope there, so you can bang the gong. Okay, what does this say here? This way uphill to the Buddha's sacred footprint on the shoulder of the Kayasira mountain, 268 meters, I believe, is probably like above sea level. So we'll go up there in a second, but for right now, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna assume one takes off your shoes when you come in here. And really the only reason I'm speaking is because no one else is in here. But, oh yeah, and I can tell you right now, nobody will take this money, which is so awesome. I don't know what these various numbers of, I mean, maybe these are like sort of the equivalent of hymns, maybe, that you would see in like a, you know, the Bible thingy or whatever book they have, potentially. This here, this candle, is likely, what you do is you grab a candle, you would give merit, and you would have a brand new candle. And then you obviously light the wick, but you sort of melt the bottom such that it becomes sticky. And then you can mount it here. And then ideally what you do is you pray, and then, but no, not ideally you pray, but ideally what happens after you pray is when you leave it here is it keeps burning and burning, burning. And then your sort of wish comes true. So what I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's see if that works. Oh, what do you know? All right, so here's a light, but what there's not is that, and I'm really reluctant to step over all of this. I think that would be mildly disrespectful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up around and assume that maybe, let me turn the light off now. Maybe I can get inside if I go up. I'm not sure. I would like to go up there, but. So if you don't know, you can see how you see how this looks basically like aluminum foil? So there are flecks of gold, and this money of course will stay there untouched. There are little squares of gold. They're about the size of a dime. Very, very thin, almost like, you know, paper-like, like right there. And I could probably just flick that off with my finger. And so what people, well actually maybe not that, but definitely down here. So what people will do is they'll take those, you usually get it into about one, yeah, you can see it right there with the wind, that it's kind of blowing maybe. And what people will do is they'll take that and using their thumb and forefinger, you can see there, and they will stick it on the Buddha. See how it's like really thin right there and it's kind of just flapping? And for giving merit and for good luck. And then so anyway, this whole thing like just really fascinates me. It makes me feel comfortable. Oh, here's an example. Yeah, so someone put some there, which is a bit odd. Usually you see them putting it on the various statues and that sort of thing of Buddha, but for some reason someone put that right there. And it's definitely real gold. I don't know where they're getting them. Oh, I know where they're getting them from. So this white piece of paper here that's wrapped inside of this bunch of incense will actually have a little square incense. Well, shoot, I'll show you right now. I'll give some merit and we'll do the whole thing. So let me go through all this. Stand by. Here, hold on. And arguably I didn't need to take my shoes off because this floor here is not real. I mean, it's swept, but anyway, so, okay. So I take the merit and I'm gonna put it around I'll put it just here so it'll stay, obviously amidst any sort of wind. And then I take what I have here. And now sadly, that candle blew out. So I can no longer use that. What I'm used to using is the flame that's going on inside the oil there. Oh, but there's a lighter, so cool. So what I'll do here, if I can, is obviously I'll kneel here with my feet facing the opposite direction. So I'm kneeling and I've got my candle and my incense. Take off my hat, take off my sunglasses. And again, anyone who's watching this that you believe anything that I'm doing is incorrect or disrespectful, I genuinely apologize. That is not my intent. My intent is to show this to people that basically are as ignorant or more ignorant than I am about this whole thing. because I loved seeing it the first time. So what I'm going to do is, with any luck, I'm going to do this. How's that? Yeah, okay. So, to kind of show you guys at least what I believe is the correct way. So, inside of this white piece of paper will likely be, yes there is a fleck of gold leaf. And I may be doing this in the wrong order, but I'll just do it now, so in case I don't. So I take the leaf, and then I make sure you can see it if I do this. And then well, I'll tell you what, let me make a wish. And then I put it on the Buddha. There. And a lot of times it'll flake off, and you'll end up with this. So you just sort of mush it in there and make sure that it stays on the mighty Buddha. So that's the piece of paper. And then what I'm used to basically seeing is having everyone, they take the incense like this, cup it between their fingers, and they'll put it over their head while it's burning. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the candle first. So I'm going to light the bottom so that it melts, and so I can, tell you what, I'll put it over here by this other one. Does that seem like a good enough place? So that ideally will keep it there. Here, hold on. I think you can see that, right? Yeah, you can. So what I did is I melted the little bottom, and then I stuck it to the thing, and make sure there we go. And so then that will burn. So for lack of the oil up there, now what I'll do is I will light my incense. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Now there's not a lot of flame, and there is in fact a little bit of wind happening behind me, so the lighting of this incense may or may not, it seems to be going quite well. Okay, good. You can see that, right? Good. Yeah, I know that my body is kind of casting a shadow in here. Oh, and I've still got a little piece of gold. So, okay. So now I got this going on, and what I've seen is people will basically make another wish. So there you go. And then put this in here, and with any luck, those will sort of continue to burn. And my candle there will stay lit, and the whole process will bring me good karma. And you know, I'll tell you what, whether I believe in this or not, just the doing of it really makes me feel good. And again, just to reiterate, if I did any of this incorrectly or if I did it in the wrong order, please, with all respect, please comment below about the correct way I should have done it. And know that I'm as much of a beginner as, well, I've seen this done, and I've done this like 2 or 3 times maybe over the last 6 or 7 years. And so these are the portions that I remember to the best of my ability. So anyway, I do know to make sure that my feet are basically facing that way. The first time I was in Thailand, I went to Wat Po, and I sat down with my hands behind me, my feet straight out, you know, like a lot of people will sit down. And I make sure my money doesn't blow away. And I had my feet facing the Buddha, and totally incorrect. And gratefully, someone who was sort of sitting there monitoring it came over and tapped me on the shoulder and told me that I had my feet facing the wrong way. And I learned it that way, but anyway, it's all part of the process. So anyway, that was kind of cool. So now, more stairs. And put my shoes on, we'll be back at these stairs.